welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel, Talking Dog Stitcher, here on YouTube and over on Instagram as well. And this is my YouTube channel about cross stitch. You're joining me today for my end of June update. So I did a video in the middle of June with everything that I did in the first couple of weeks. So here is just everything else for the month of June. It's not long since you last saw me. I did a mid-year whip parade a couple of days ago, so please feel free to go and check that out. Some of the things that you're seeing today you have unfortunately seen in the whip parade, but just in case there are viewers out there who haven't had a chance or who aren't whip parade watchers, then I thought I would do a usual month-end roundup of all of the projects that I've been working on. I hope this is going to be quite a quick one. I've had a couple of hours off this afternoon. My eldest is finishing nursery, ready to go to school in September. So they had a little sort of party and sort of ceremony, certificates and all that kind of stuff. And they all sang a song. I may have cried a little bit, which you don't think is going to happen when there's a group of 4-year-olds all trying to stay kind of in tune and kind of in time, but it was lovely. It was really nice to go and see, and now I've got myself a couple of free hours, so I thought I would join you. I have one finish to show you from the end of June. I have a visitor. Alfie, say hi. Say hi. Just some purring. This is Alfie. He likes to get involved. No, I don't need your help right now. Thanks though. I have one finish from the end of June. I have no new starts from the end of June, although I do have one from the beginning of July, but I'll show you that in a bit. And then a handful of whips, a bit of plans, a little bit of haul, and then I'm going to announce the winner of the giveaway. Sorry about that, I just had to go and relocate Alfie because he is such a snuggle bug that he would have ended up just purring over everything that I was saying and you wouldn't be able to hear me at all. Fur over everything. I'm permanently covered in it, so he's alright, he's off having his dinner. So, as I was saying, I have finished one project this month. I finished this. This is Clean Day by Soda Stitch. As you can see when I hold her up, I've done a bit of colour changing, some purples and lilacs where there were pinks, and that's just so that it shows up against the fabric I've chosen. This is an 18 count Ada from the Stitchy Ferret in the colour Sherbet Dip. And this is the hoop it'll be finished in, but as you can see it's not fully finished yet, so when I get a chance to get the iron out, I'll get her ironed and I'll get her finished off properly. So very pleased to have finished that. I spent a fair amount of June I wanted to get that one done. And that was it for finishes. This month I have been working on, let me get my notes up. So I have been working on the Summer Stitch Challenge hosted by the Naptime Stitcher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through those first, as I know what order I did those in, and then anything else that I've worked on that I've made a log of, I will show you after it. It does kind of flow a little bit better that way. So the Summer Stitches Challenge started on the 26th of June. First prompt was School's Out, which is to stitch something with letters or words. I picked up Jurassic Perk, which, as ever, stored in my Turtle Bay Stitches project bag. I've tried, where possible, to pick up projects that are a little bit older. So just to give me an excuse to pick up the older whips that I've got in my pile. Sometimes I haven't, but for the most part, that is what I'm planning to do. This is stitched on the cord for 18 count Ada from Fibre on a Whim in the colour Milk and Honey, and it was just the words along the bottom that I got done on that day. The next day, the prompt was Pool Day, which was to stitch something with water. So I picked up my Oceana collection Sea Life Collage. And I did a centre start on this one, so I went up and I worked on the water. Not very far on this one at all, but as someone said to me recently, progress is progress. There's quite a lot, it's quite deceiving, there is a lot of full coverage on this. So the middle bit is all stitched, the whole bottom section is stitched, it's just these two corners that don't have any stitching on them. I then, because I was having a lot of fun with the prompt, I picked up another project that day, and I picked up Prefect's Bathroom, which obviously has a lot of water. I did about 213 stitches on this that day, I think. Stitched 1/1 full cross on a piece of 25 count Lugana, and I'm stitching that in CX3, CXC, the same as I'm doing with the Jurassic Park. For the Sea Life Collage, it's all the kit contents that I'm using. So I think the last time I showed this on my regular Flosstube, I'd only done the sort of top corner here. So I have got quite a bit into that now. The prompt after that was Sandcastles. I love how, I think is it Katie, Naptime Stitcher, has done all of her prompts to be something summer themed. So Sandcastles, which is to stitch something with a house or building. So I picked up another older whip. This is Visit Hogsmeade by Country Magic Stitch. Stitching it on a piece of 16 count Zweigart Ada in the colour Pewter. Top left start. And I just did a little bit more of this house here. And some more down there. I'm about 17.5% of the way through this one, I think, last I checked. The prompt after that was Catch Fireflies. So the prompt was to stitch something with an insect or a jar. And this is pretty much the only thing that I had that fit it, but my goodness, does it fit it perfectly. This is Egyptian Scarab by Needle Lot Designs. I bought this from their Ko-fi shop, or Coffee, K-O-F-I shop. It's a stitch along, hashtag Egyptian Scarab Sal. And I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count Murano in just a plain white. And the Bumblebee Needle Minder is from ukneedleminders.co.uk. I got loads put into this one. My start on this before I did any stitching this month was so tiny. It was about a dozen stitches, so I'm really happy with how much I got done there. You can pretty much tell what it's going to be now, which you definitely couldn't last time. Finally, the prompt for the 30th of June was to stitch on something with a border. I picked up Dinosaur Forest by Owl Forest Embroidery, which, as you can see, has a big border going all the way around the outside. This one I started in the middle and then sort of went up motifs to reach the border, because I know I will not go back at the end to do the border. I get quite bored quite quickly, so I'd like to try and get as much of it done first. I purchased this as a kit and I'm using all of the kit contents, which includes the Owl Forest overdyed threads and the matching needle minder that goes with it. And I really, really love the threads that come into this. So good progress on it. Still plenty to go though. And that's it for the Summer Stitches Challenge for June. However, the prompts for the 1st and 2nd of July also happen to be a project that I've been working on earlier in June, so you are actually going to see prompts 6 and 7 as well. Prompt 6 and 7 were to work on something with a plant or tree and to work on something with a bird. This one fits both of those and also helps in my quest to try and catch up. I'm very behind. I'm about 35% of the way through, 32% of the way through as of this planting number 5, which is the parasitic vine that's taken over this tree. I haven't even started stitching that bit, but this is how far I've got throughout June and part of July. So I will come back to it a bit in plans, but one of my plans is to continue pulling this out as often as possible. Just, I want to try and get caught up. And then the only other project that I worked on this month, just for a day, Dragon and the Lilies. I only put a few dozen stitches in, but I did want to show you anyway. Oh, I forgot to... Greenhouse is being stitched all in CXC with the called for colours on a piece of coffee craft fabric that's much too big for it, but I will have a piece of leftover fabric at the end, which is never a bad thing. This is also being stitched in CXC on a piece of Chromatic Alchemy fabric in the colour Sugar Plum. And that's as far as I got. Only about 4% of the way through this, but I'm really enjoying it. And that's it. That's it for my whips. I will now tidy those away and I'll come back to you in a little bit with plans, haul and the giveaway. Okay, my haul and my plans kind of merge together a little bit, so I'm going to go through them all at the same time. My haul, or my acquisitions, is not very big this month at all. The first thing that I picked up was a pattern from Raven Coven. I subscribed to the newsletter, got an email saying that there was a big sale in their Etsy store, so I got this really cute dancing skeletons pattern from their Etsy for less than a couple of £. So no plans to stitch it yet, but I'm really happy to have it in my stash. Look how happy they are. The next acquisition was a piece of Stitchy Kindness. I received a piece of fabric from my friend Sophie, Turtle Bay Stitches, in preparation to start the that's Sophie's name, the Treasure Island Sal from Owl Forest Embroidery. So she has hand dyed a piece of 18 count Ada for me to join her on the Treasure Island Sal. So thank you, Sophie. I'm really excited. I'm definitely going to be starting it with you this weekend. Just need to gather all of my flosses. So yeah, we will be joining that Sal. I'm not even going to try and keep up with it because I know that's on release 4, maybe even release 5 as well. It's too much for me to do to try and keep up, but I'm really enjoying the pattern and seeing what's coming out as it's released, so definitely going to be joining in. Next is a purchase I made on Etsy. This is Sampler Santa. So this is part of my plans for July, Christmas in July, or Jolly July. I'm gonna stitch this. I love it's a monochrome one, so get out some lovely colourful fabric that I've got in my stash, and I'll start stitching that one very soon. Another one from Etsy. This is from Spooky and Steve. You've probably seen this one before. This is North Pole Milk and Cookie Company, and I'm going to stitch that on some plain white 18 count Aida, and I'd love to have this ready for Christmas to frame and put up for my kids. And then plan wise, other than the new starts that I've just reeled off there, is all Christmas related. So I'm going to do Jolly July, Christmas in July. I'm going to bring out my Advent Animals from Brooks Books, see if I can get at least one of those finished, potentially even 2. I'm going to get out my Celebrate Christmas from Madame Chantilly. Oh, and another new start at the bottom of the pile that I've forgotten. So, Infinite Christmas by Barbara Anna. This is a freebie from their Instagram page. I've got some vintage country mocha, 32 count linen to stitch it on. I might not start all of these, but I am planning to. We'll see how it goes. I might run out of time or motivation. Is there ever a loss of motivation for new starts? Probably not. More likely I'm going to get distracted by something new and shiny, and I'm going to start that instead. And I'm going to continue. I started this on the 25th of May. I'm going to continue that one, see if I can get that one finished this month. And my final definite new start for the month is myself and Sophie of Turtle Bay Stitches are starting a stitch along. We're going to be stitching this pattern, Pardon the Weeds, We're Feeding the Bees, from Cross Stitch for the Earth. I'm storing mine in a project bag that I made myself. I'm stitching it with all of the called for colours in CXC on a piece of 32 count plain white Lugana. Currently plain white. I'm debating with myself whether I try and dye it. Still remains to be seen. So that's me starting it, and that is starting hashtag Pardon the Weeds Sal on the 29th of July, when Sophie and I will be finally meeting in person at the Floss Friends UK Summer Retreat in Rotherham. So yes, final start of the month. And in conjunction with that, on my last regular Flosstube video, I said that I was going to be doing a giveaway. I asked you to use the word weeds, so that this one's my copy. This is a copy donated by Sophie, and you were entering to win a copy of the book and all of the threads that you need to join us to stitch Pardon the Weeds. I'm going to cut to a screen recording of me selecting the winner. There we go. So as you can see, we had 27 entries for that giveaway, and I'm absolutely blown away because at the beginning, as soon as I posted that video, I messaged Sophie and I was like, what if nobody enters? What if nobody watches the video and nobody enters, and I've got 2 copies of this book and no one to give it to? So thank you everyone that commented. As you saw, the winner was Cassie's Beach. If you could send me an email, I'll put my address in the comment box below, and I will arrange to get these sent over to you. Depending where in the world you are, I will aim to get them to you for in time to join us for the Pardon the Weeds Sal. If you are not in the UK, there's a chance that it might not, but fingers crossed. As soon as you send me your details, I will get that straight in the post for you. And that is it. I have shown you everything. So I will hopefully see you in a couple of weeks' time, and we'll see how many of those new starts I have got underway and how many unplanned new starts have made their way in, because there's always at least one. And I will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye.